you and everybody, like everything you stand for, everything that represents you, like forget you. I'm not interested in your family. I'm not interested in you. Like, be out of my life. Like, hey guys, what's up? Nori here. Welcome back to my channel. Nori and her yellow nails are here. So guys, before I continue, I have to address the elephant in the room yet again. I know I said I was going to be more consistent with uploading videos, but I am just having the hardest time, the most difficult time getting a hang of this YouTube stuff, recording and editing and trying to implement or trying to like mesh that into my own personal life and everything that I already have going on. But be patient with me. I promise you I'm getting there. I'm going to be more consistent. I'm trying to be more consistent and just getting the hang of things. So now that I've gotten that out the way, moving on. So the last video I uploaded was essentially a partial story time talking about my experience, or somewhat of my experience living in Spain and living with a host family in Spain. If you guys have not watched that video, I will card it down below. I'll link it down below, and then you can just go back and watch that first before watching this video. Nonetheless, this is part 2. I'm sure you can see in the title. This is part 2 of my story time. After that day, she just had like a hatred towards me. There's really no way for me to go in depth and explain that. It was just, you can tell the difference in like someone's mannerisms and just like their personality and just like how they interact with you, right? In the beginning, everything was great, everything was cool, she was chill, you know, and then it just became, everything was just a big deal. Have you ever had a friend who was just like upset with you, or like when you're like your spouse or your partner or whatever is like upset with you and they're not saying they're upset with you, but everything they're doing is literally telling you that they're upset or they're in their feelings, or something is wrong. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know something is wrong. This is how she became with me. She was just like irritated all the time. She was snapping at me all the time. It was just always just the smallest thing. So because of that, I decided to just start keeping to myself all the time. So, like I said, I was traveling a lot while I was there, but I was only traveling on weekends because they told me that that's what worked for them, because for the most part the kids were gone a lot for like competitions and just different things on weekends. So weekends was my time to just be gone, travel and visit friends and stuff like that. Anyway, so I had told my host mom that I wanted to go to Portugal, right? I always wanted to go to Portugal. I was so excited. Portugal and Spain border each other, so it's going to be a very quick trip, just Friday to Sunday, come back on Sunday, tutor the kids on Monday, and we're back to our regular schedule. My plan was to get back around, let me say, about 5 o'clock, because the kids usually are ready for me by like 9 o'clock. So while I'm in Portugal, enjoying my best life, doing me, everything is going well. I'm having like, literally, I had the best time in Portugal. I'm going to do another story time in the future as to my experiences in Portugal. I don't unfortunately have any videos that I can put together and upload here, but I have some pretty sweet story times that I will tell way further up in the future. Anyway, so I went to Portugal. I was in Lisboa or Lisbon. I had the most amazing time, right? So Monday morning comes and I'm preparing to go back to Spain. I think it's like a 5-hour drive. It's a 5-hour bus ride. It's a very short ride. So, you know, I'm kind of preparing myself or whatever. Then my host mom sends me a text message and she's telling me that, hey, you know, I know you're supposed to have a session with the kids in the evening, which is what we usually do, but something happened where their schedule had changed. So she wanted me to have a session with them, my English tutoring session with them. Let's say at like 6 o'clock or something like that, like 5 o'clock. She wanted it to be earlier. And of course, usually I don't mind. Like if it doesn't take anything away from me and school and everything, I usually don't mind. But I told her that I wasn't in the country. I told her I was going to Portugal. I was going to be gone for the weekend and I was supposed to be back in time, perfectly in time to tutor the kids. She agreed to it. Unfortunately, buses is not like flights where you can just switch your ticket. You have to buy a new ticket essentially. So I told her that I wasn't going to make it in time because the bus that I was taking was set to arrive into town at the specific time, and like, you're also contacting me the day of. Like, how does that work? So I let her know I wouldn't be back in time to tutor the kids earlier, but if time permits, I can still tutor them at the regular time that I was supposed to tutor them. She didn't respond to me. She didn't respond. So I'm like, I'm not even about to stress myself. Like, I just had like the best weekend. I'm still kind of on a high. I'm going to get on my bus. I'm going to put on my earphones, listen to my music, take a nap, and arrive in Madrid and just continue my life. Like, I was not tripping. Like, anyway, so I get there Monday evening. There's nobody home. Everyone's gone. So I assume this is probably the reason why she wanted me to tutor them earlier. All right, nobody's home. I sent her a text message letting her know that I was home, and if they got back in time, I could still tutor the kids. No response, nothing. I'm going about my business. The next day, not the next day, the weekend. So this was Monday morning. The week had passed through or whatever, and then on I think it was a Friday, like the next Friday or the next Monday, something like that. It was a weekend. I remember it was a weekend. So she calls me, the host mom, my host mom, calls me to the kitchen. Again, she's like, I want to have a talk with you. I'm like, okay, here we go again, because the last talk that we had did not end well at all. But you know what? This is your home. I'm in your home, and I'm trying to make things as comfortable for the both of us as possible. So let me hear what you have to say. Let's hear what you have to tell me. So she starts off by saying, you need to leave. So I'm looking like, I need to do what? I need to leave where? Like, I need to leave the kitchen? I could leave the kitchen. Like, what are you talking about? She goes, mind you, there is a language barrier, and my Spanish is not fluent at this point. So I'm like, maybe I'm not understanding her properly. She says it again. She's like, you need to leave. And I'm like, why do I need to leave? Like, where do you want me to go? Like, this is in the middle of the semester. I was placed in this home by this tutoring program. It was like a tutoring, I don't know, anyway, they link you up with families. They don't do it in the middle of the semesters. They vet everybody in the beginning of the semester. Before the semester starts, you go through a whole process of them, like a background check and everything like that. They don't do it in the middle of the semester. So I'm like, so where do you want me to go? And she's like, that's your problem. You just can't be here. So she's telling me that the next weekend was a holiday, and I can't remember which holiday it was. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Easter, or like their version of Easter. I don't know. So she tells me that there's a holiday coming up, and her family are going to go to spend the holiday with her sister in another country. I think in Germany or something like that. I can't remember. And she tells me that essentially they don't trust me being in their home without them. And the holiday is coming up in 1 week, so they're giving me a week to essentially just pack up my things and go. Okay. So you do realize I'm supposed to be here for 1 year, right? Yes. Okay. So is it that you want me to pack up and go and then come back when you guys get back? Oh no, we've already found your replacements. Okay. I mean, like, what do you say at that point? Like, what do you say to someone at that point? They've essentially which means that she's been thinking about this. She's been contacting some other program. I guess she's contacted another program that does the same thing as a program that placed me. Like, to essentially to replace me. And I'm just now hearing about the fact that she wants me to leave in 1 week, considering the fact that I'm still in school. I've packed my bags to come from a whole nother country. I've never even been to Madrid. I don't know a single soul out there. I don't know anybody out there. And she wants me to pack my bags and leave in a week in the middle of the semester. So I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. I'll pack my bags. So I'm like, I can't go home because I'm not done with school. So I go to my room and I'm just trying to figure out like what my options are. I have family in Italy, so I ended up contacting my family. My family, Italy is obviously another country, but it was the closest country to Spain that I could think of to where I can kind of just lay low for a little bit while I kind of figure out what my next steps were. So I contacted my family and I said, hey, is it cool if I come to Italy for the next few weeks? I'm not really sure how long I'll be there for, but this is the cards I've been dealt, and I'm trying to make the best of it. My family's like, yeah, sure, come through. So I'm like, all right, bet. I go online and I literally booked the quickest and cheapest ticket that I could book for 2 days from that day. So let's say this is a Friday. This flight was supposed to be leaving on Sunday, right? So I was planning to leave 2 days from then. Paid for my ticket and everything like that. Literally started packing, because mind you, I have a year's worth of stuff here. So the quicker I start packing, the better. So I go up to the kitchen and I let them know. I'm like, okay, you know what? I looked online for some tickets, and the the cheapest ticket I could find is leaving on Sunday morning. She starts going off. You can't leave on Sunday morning. The girl that's supposed to be, or the person that's supposed to be replacing you, is not coming until a week after the holiday when we get back. The kids can't go 2 weeks or that long without an English tutor. They lose their English every day, and it's not okay for you to just up and leave. And I'm sitting like, I know she ain't talking to me. I know she's not talking to me. Like, this is the same woman that literally gave me a 1 week's notice to leave when I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here for a year. And now you're telling me what I can and cannot do, considering the fact that you didn't even consider my feelings or my accommodation or my safety at all when you decided to replace me and not even give me a proper notice. You didn't give the program, you didn't give the school, you didn't give anyone a proper notice at all. Like, you literally just decided that I needed to be out on my ass in a country that I don't know anybody. You didn't even tell me why. The real like, you saying that you're gonna be gone and you don't want me in your house, like, that doesn't make any sense, because I've been in the house plenty of times without them being there. So that wasn't it. You didn't even give me a proper reason why. And you're just literally putting me out. You're essentially putting me out. And now you want me to consider your children and their English lessons in me booking my flight, when I booked the cheapest flight that I could find because I'm a broke student. I literally could not work. I don't have a job. So what are you talking about? You want me to consider your kids and their education and their English, but you weren't even considerate of me. So I'm telling you, she's going off. Like, everyone is just kind of looking like she's going off at me. And I'm just sitting there like, like, when I tell you I've never cared less about anything, I literally did not care. I did not care that she was so upset. I didn't, because I was just like, you're crazy. Like, you're absolutely insane. No one has sat me down and been like, you know what? This is the situation. Let's maybe try to do this. There was not a talk. There was not a conversation as to, other than the fact that she told me that I couldn't come in late, which happened one time because I felt like it was literally a life and death situation, and I had to wake somebody up to come to help me get into the house. Other than that, we really haven't had any other issues as far as I'm concerned, unless she had her own issues and she just wasn't like addressing them with me. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, like, you feel that way, but like, the ticket is already booked and I apparently gotta go, and I'm leaving in a couple days. So can you guys take me to the airport? They say yes. The airport is about a 40-minute drive from their home. Maybe 40 minutes without traffic. On a Sunday morning, it would have been about 40 minutes or so. So the morning that I'm leaving, my flight is leaving at let's say 1:30. No, let's say like 12, like midday. It's leaving at 12:30, right? So obviously I need to get to the airport kind of early so I can check in my bags and everything like that. So the morning comes and I'm packing, I get all my things all packed up and all smushed in, and I'm ready to go. So I go to tell my host parents, is saying, okay, hey, I'm done. I'm dressed. My things are packed. I'm ready to go. Can you guys take me to the airport? Mind you, this day was a snowstorm. It was A full on snow. It was a full on snowstorm to the point that neither one of them. Well, actually, the dad was the only one that worked. The dad couldn't go to work because the snow was so bad. That's how bad the snowstorm was. I live in LA. I'm from LA. I've never seen snow. I mean, I have seen snow, but like I've never actually experienced snow where it's like it's snowing where I'm living at. Like I've never experienced a snowstorm. I've never been in the middle of a snowstorm. Let me just say that. It was a full snowstorm. Cars were covered. I don't even know how high the snow was, but it was a lot of snow. So I go to tell them that, hey, I'm ready to go. Check my bags in the car. The mom turns around and goes, we're not taking you. I'm like, what? Like, I must be being, I'm like, somebody's punking me. I'm probably being punked. Like, I can't take this here. You're not taking me to the airport? That's a 40-minute drive. So how am I supposed to get there? We don't know, and we don't care. Mind you, they live in a remote location to where taxis don't even come to this area because it's so remote. Forget Uber. Uber doesn't even work in that area. So how am I supposed to get to the airport? We don't know. You figure it out. The closest thing I could think of was the bus. If you take the right bus, the bus will get you to the train station, and then there's a train that takes you directly. The bus will take you into the city, and then there's a train that would take you directly from the city into, like, literally to the airport. But I'm like, if you decided that you didn't want to take me to the airport, you could have told me this the day that I asked you. You could have told me this yesterday. You could have told me this early this morning. You're waiting for me for when it's time for me to leave to tell me that you can't take me to the airport? For real? Okay, cool. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take the bus, but the bus is like a 10-minute walk. Are you willing to at least take me to the bus stop? Sure, we'll take you to the bus stop. I get my things in the car. The dad gets in the car, drives me to the bus stop, sits in the car while I get out of my car and take out each of my 3 suitcases outside of the car, sitting at the bus stop in the middle of a snowstorm, when my flight is literally leaving in like 3 hours. Okay, the bus ride alone is an hour. The train ride, I don't know because I've never been on the train. Anyway, so I get my things out of the car, get to the bus stop. I'm waiting for the bus. The bus takes, I think, literally like 30 minutes to get there. The minute the dad drives off, I block all of them. I block the mom, I block the dad, I block the kids. I don't even care. I'm like, forget you and everybody, like everything you stand for, everything that represents you, like forget you. I'm not interested in your family. I'm not interested in you. Like, be out of my life. Like, I was just so annoyed. I couldn't believe like the hatred that they felt toward, like, for me, I would have to hate you. You would have to be my enemy for me to make you go through something like that. For me to put you through something like that. I didn't feel like whatever I possibly did, nothing I did warranted that type of behavior. Anyway, I get on the bus, get to the airport. No, I did not make my flight. I didn't, because I'd never been on the train that was going to take me to the airport. It was just, if you ever been to Madrid or lived in Madrid or anything like that, you tell me if you agree. The public transportation system is so confusing. It is so confusing. For me, who was not from there, I did not grow up there. Anyway, so I didn't make it to my flight in time. I had to buy a whole nother ticket, but I was determined to get out of there. And so I was willing to pay some extra bucks to get out of there. But that was probably the worst experience I've had in my entire life, not just in Spain, but just in my entire life. Like, to this day, when I think about that experience, I literally cringe, because I'm just like, how could you hate somebody so much? Especially because I don't even know what I did. Like, I have no idea what I did. Anyway, so because of that, I probably would never visit Madrid. I don't have any friends there. I don't care to, I mean, I do have maybe 1 or 2 friends there, but I don't care to go back. Like, I have just it's left us the worst taste in my mouth, and because of that, I just have no interest in Madrid. I never went to Barcelona. A lot of people have amazing, great things to say about Barcelona, so I might visit there at some point in the future. But Madrid and just Spain in general has just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I'm just like, it's gonna take me a long time, and there has to be a really, really good reason for me to go there. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much my story of how my host family put my butt out. They put my ass out in the middle of a snowstorm in Spain, in Madrid, Spain, where I did not know anybody. And to this day that I'm sitting in front of you speaking to you, they're still blocked on every single platform, including social media, and I still don't know what the heck I did. All right, guys. I mean, now it's been a few years and I can laugh about it, but if you guys have like any comments, maybe you have an idea of what I might have done, definitely leave me a comment down below. I'd love to read your comments. Or if you just have any questions about just studying abroad, I'm gonna do a different video about in the future about how to study abroad and just my experience actually studying abroad, not just a nightmare host family, but just studying abroad in general. So that's it from me for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys listening to my crazy long story. If you have any questions, definitely leave me a comment down below. Do not forget to like, hit the red subscribe button, and share this with anyone who might find it a little funny or just entertaining or just would be interested in a story like this. Thank you, guys. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.